Hello and welcome to Sobricks. I'm Adam and this is Sobricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Marvel Superheroes Avengers, the Avengers Quinjet Polybag set. This is the set number 30304. It has 56 pieces and I paid $8 for this set. That's kind of a lot for a polybag, sort of. I think I've paid more for various polybags in the past. This one's a bit interesting because I did not get it shipped to me. I got it in a store. This is retired. I think this is from, it says Age of Ultron on here, so I'm guessing this is from roughly 2014, 2015 era. And because of that, I was more comfortable paying a little more than I usually would for a polybag. And because I've recently been doing the Marvel Avengers advent calendar, I did want to take a look at this version, really small polybag version of the Quinjet versus the holiday version that was in the advent calendar for 2023. So I decided to pick this up, and in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so that is this Lego Marvel Avengers Quinjet Polybag from a few years ago. Actually, we're getting them, 8-9 years ago, potentially, if I'm correct about this coming out in around the Age of Ultron thing. So this is a older set. It has a lot of good stuff here, actually, and it's not really a fair comparison to look at this versus this. One of my things that I really like is to see Lego models of the same kind of influence, or the same sort of design, or in this case the same vehicle, the same plane or spaceship or whatever it is, in different scales, or cars for that matter as well. I do really enjoy that. So I do like to have this version and this version, and I hope to at one point get the some of the larger ones. I think there's like a play scale one that might be okay, especially I think there's one that came with the Avengers Tower that's kind of in this middle scale, and then there's kind of the bigger ones which I also call a play scale one, but they're quite a bit larger, and you can see that the overall shape here is pretty good. The one that came in the advent calendar is supposed to be kind of holiday themed or winter themed, so that explains a little bit of the color differences there. But other than that, I don't know how convincing this was as a Quinjet. It's okay, not as convincing as some of these Star Wars ones, but this one I think is really good. I think the one in this polybag is quite strong and actually really fun. It is small, but it's got a decent footprint for not having that many pieces. 56 pieces, some somewhat big pieces considering it's a polybag, but not crazy. And there's some good stuff here. So there's some stuff to look at. First thing is you build kind of the whole base, which I did mess up at first, where the front cockpit area was going to be. I put the wrong piece on there, but that uses a 2x6, I believe. Here we have a couple little red translucent cheese slopes at the back. This can open up, I think, to maybe indicate like a ramp or something like that, which is a nice feature. So if this was landed, characters, if they were very tiny, could walk up in here. You build out the top with this interesting piece that I've seen in some botanicals as petals. I think the tulips, nice slope here. And then you build out the wings, which are their own individual sub-assembly. They're identical right to left, and they have some good articulation here. So up at the middle, there is these kind of ratchet hinges in here. There's 2 on each side there, and they get a little bit covered up by this kind of angled or angular plate there, which is nice. And then out from that we have a couple modified plates with the bar and then something clipped to it. And then out from that, we have another different modified plate with the bar that also has a flag clip to it, which means you can get some pretty aggressive angles for these things. And, you know, theoretically, you can kind of make it look like it's almost like a circle like this, which is good. There's a lot of range of motion to get these wings in a way that one might feel is most accurate, and I think that's pretty successful in that way. So when it lands, you can have these wings kind of touching the ground there at the tip. Underneath the wings, interestingly enough, we actually have some projectiles. So these are flick projectiles, which are not my favorite. Sometimes they hurt my finger, but they work well, and it's interesting to see those here. So they stick out a little bit at the back, but they work well, and that's a fun little play feature for something like this. And then up at the front, I actually really liked the build for the kind of cockpit area or the nose here. They use these kind of slopes on either side, and they put a jumper plate kind of in the middle tier of that. And so that sticks up a little bit. And then when you add this translucent tile here, it kind of really rounds out that area in a nice way. So I like the idea of having this slope with the jumper plate there, and then the back, you know, part of that kind of overlaps the front. This is also on one of those ratchet joint type pieces there. And so this can be positioned at an angle as well. I think, you know, straight on is okay. One tick down is probably good. And, you know, you can kind of figure out how that, again, best suits you. So whether you want the wings kind of more tilted down at the center or more towards the end is kind of up to you, and there's a good range to do that. It's definitely swishable. It definitely looks the part. I think people familiar with the Quinjet or this version of the Quinjet would recognize it, which is nice. I think the inclusion of the play feature with the projectiles is actually pretty interesting. It's not something I would have expected, even though on the polybag and on the instructions you do kind of see that there. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, this is a great polybag. I'm very happy to get it. You know, as far as value goes, I think, you know, when this retailed, it was probably $3, $4. Now it would be $5. I paid a little bit more than that. That doesn't bother me too much because I knew that it was retired, and I did really want to take a look at this. I didn't get it shipped. I had to factor shipping into it as well. So I feel like the value's fine. I wouldn't go crazy for these. I don't think the market for these is particularly high, even for a sealed one. I'm sure they'll probably go for $5, $6, $7 in that range. So I don't feel too bad about it, but I didn't get the best deal. But sometimes when I buy a sealed retired set, even a polybag, I do have to factor in the consideration that there's not any more of these, and there won't be any more. So every time I buy one that's sealed and I open it, there's one less out there, and how that affects what I'm willing to pay, and how that affects, you know, what the value is. There are some extra pieces for the set, just 2 cheese wedges here, the red translucent for the lights at the back, and the black translucent up at the front. And overall, I think this is quite good. I enjoyed it. It's really fun. So now that I have the holiday one, the polybag one, I'll have to look at getting some of the other versions of the Lego Marvel Avengers Quinjet here, because it's a neat little ship. So great. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future. Tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss it. If you want to support this channel, you can do that right here on YouTube with memberships, supers, thanks, all of that lovely stuff. Every little bit helps, and it is appreciated. And I still have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks, and you can get access to all my videos early before they're up publicly on YouTube, as well as some other exclusive stuff. And I'm just going to keep trying to foster a nice community here on YouTube and over at the Patreon. So again, every little bit helps, and it is appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot to me. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.